Hey folks, MasakoX here. Now that we've caught up with Kakumei, you can do so handily via the playlist below, let's get into chapter 13, shall we? Which came out yesterday. But for those new to this whole thing and want to catch up, Dragon Ball Kakumei is a fan manga made by 3 French creatives who have managed to make one of the most detailed, intense fan productions going. And it's actually really good filling a hole where the official manga is just taking a break. The story in short is that there's going to be a massive confrontation between the Grand Priest and his wife. Yeah, he didn't talk about that, did he? Thanks to his smarts though, they've managed to buy some time, 2 years in fact, before the full force of his missus is wrought upon the universe, and everyone has to pick a side. Us mortals are having to fight the deities' battles for them! Oh, by the way, no Goku here. He's currently on ice at the moment. So, anybody waiting for Goku in the main cast, better have brought a game to play because they're going to be waiting for a while. But regardless, if you like the sound of this and want to find out more, subscribe to this channel today and like this video for some more fan content. Right, okay, let's dig into the chapter now. Chapter 13 starts with this excellent cover in which Gohan and Jiren are in a literal boxing match, the title being Son Gohan vs Jiren The Gray. Definitely making it out to be some kind of big contest that people have wanted to see. Why are they fighting Masako? Oh, don't worry, it's nothing major. Gohan just wanted to pit himself against the strongest trooper, see where he fared, to see how he compared to his father when he fought Jiren back in the Tournament of Power, so it's a yardstick sort of thing really, nothing malicious. In any case, Gohan is digging deep into this fight and Jiren is just monotonous, as usual. Meanwhile, Toppo is being a very good and observant destroyer by asking Margarita to make sure that this planet doesn't get destroyed in the midst of this battle. Remember, he's choosing which planets to destroy and not destroy. Hey, at least one of the destroyers are considerate. But maybe that's the mortal part showing the connection to that part of his life still. Maybe it fades away over time, we don't know. After getting into position, Jiren tells Gohan to stop it. So yes, Gohan thrust forward and is about to fist Jiren with his burning hot okay, that's all I got. I guess it's time to make the donuts then, just like it, because Gohan's borrowed a technique from Gotenks of all people, and has unleashed a galactic donut toward Jiren. But the alien ain't got no time for that, and just facepalms Gohan as the donut flies away. Wow, I guess Jiren's not playing around, really. I guess you can't make any of those flashy moves with him around. Remember, he's all about that absolute strength. Oh, and by the way, have I told you how good this manga looks? It really does. Nestled safely in the shield that Margarita had constructed for the battle under Toppo's orders, Gohan is now pinging around like a pinball, and Jiren picks the right time and moment to slam him back down again after having just sent him flying. And now completely immobilized as the grumpy grey giant just picks him up and decks him in the schnoz multiple times, all before he gets knocked out temporarily. But Gohan is back up again, and told by Toppo to be resourceful and think on his feet, to which the bookworm goes along with, but then misses and gets a punch back in return. Essentially, what we're getting in this fight, what we're seeing, is that Jiren simply has seen this all before, what Gohan's trying to do, be all grandstandy. Every time Gohan's winding himself up for a move, just Jiren countering it, and trying to teach Goku's kid that it's pointless to be flashy, just do the move. But Gohan can't quit that old model of thinking, and fires a Kamehameha at full blast, which again does nothing. Jiren simply flies under it, I think, and uppercuts Gohan into the top of the shield. Now, normally, according to Jiren, this is when most people would tend to give up. But Gohan is simply not doing that. Well, I mean, he shouldn't, since he's the one who instigated this fracas in the first place. Ooh, are we going to be heading for flashback time? Because I think we're heading for a flashback. Now, in this one little cutaway, we see a much more polished attempt at what Super tried to do with Jiren's very feeble facsimile of the Batman origin story. Gohan mirrors a young Jiren who is teaching under Gichin, the guy who trained him up in the actual show Jiren. Awesome, cool, I like this. It's good to see more from this guy. Really try and understand more about how Jiren might have garnered his understanding toward fighting. I even tried to have a little go of that myself, about Jiren having a proper backstory. Check it out up top. And it seems like he understood it by getting kicked in the face repeatedly, Jiren, with Gichin doing it to him. Just like what Jiren's doing to Gohan right now, actually, hence the reminder. Young Jiren is simply not giving up, and is told to hold on to everything he has in life to power through. Don't fight to simply get stronger. Which is Oh, I'm beginning to see a pattern here. Ooh, let's keep reading. I like where this is going. Because Jiren right now, he's saying he has nothing to fight for anyway because his parents are gone. But Gichin just tells him to do it anyway. Think harder. No matter how many or few he has to fight for. The motivation is critical here. Since Jiren is told to fight for those you love and care about at any moment. When they're fine, or they're in danger, or they're dead. Doesn't really matter. You just believe in them anyway and seek strength from them. Because when you've got no one left to fight for, this is the linchpin here, that's when your passion for battle is gone. Isn't that cool? We do see this in the anime and manga, kind of, because Jiren in those mediums doesn't care for fighting at all. He just meditates and only applies himself when he has to, as part of the job. He doesn't contend for the thrill of it. Goku is the one that got him back into that frame of mind, what Gichin was trying to tell him. And after Gichin died, Jiren had nobody, literally. And he simply let that flame go out. We have seen what Gichin warned him about. That's what Jiren is, or at least before the tournament. Don't you see, this is really good here. It really fleshes out Jiren's character where the anime failed to do so. This is another plus for Kakumei in general. It's very good at filling some of the gaps the original IP failed to fill, or simply ignored wholesale. But let's get back to present day. He asks Gohan why he keeps going, and the Saiyan hybrid just says, "Because!" Which ticks Jiren off, since that's not a very passionate reason. Tenacious, but not passionate. Gohan then seemingly tries to do what had failed before in another ki-based attack move, a Hell Zone grenade-like move, like Piccolo can do. But once again, it gets him nowhere, since Jiren, as he's just sending out the ki blast, just smacks him down again. Gohan is not like his father, in that Gohan doesn't really do close quarter combat, at least not in this particular battle. He tends to prefer the more AoE type of moves and ki attacks. The close stuff is not really favoured with him, and Jiren can actually use that to his advantage, simply just waltz in and pummel him with single punches, negating any tricks he has left in store. To top this all off, Jiren holds Gohan in place, walks toward him, then past him, but his fists have not passed him. They mirror image in, and Gohan gets ordered into oblivion. Wow, that's actually really cool. In fact, it's almost like Jiren just stopped time. Is that a JoJo reference or something? Whatever that was though, it ends with a kick in the back and a lamentation of Gohan's early speech. But all of this gets put to the side for a moment when those goons from earlier that was part of Gohan's test teleport in and confront Dispo and Casserole. Gohan had left some of them alive because he's a good boy like that, and they came back for revenge, understandably. Gohan wants to go and help them break off the fight with Jiren, but Jiren tells him to have faith in his allies, which is a very fair point. Because Gohan, I don't think he gets that. Because the Dragon team, despite being a team, don't often work together as a unit. They do sometimes, but not often. They tend to mostly stand around and watch as one or two of their own do the heavy lifting. Need I remind you of Goku, waiting for Goku? Gohan is showcasing that frame of mind, and the Grey One has to tell him to focus on his own mess and leave his allies to do the rest and clean up, all of which they're able to do pretty easily. Toppo doesn't even have to help, because, well, he's really passable anyway, he's the Destroyer, he's not a Pride Trooper really. So getting back to their duel, Jiren asks one more time why Gohan keeps going. Really, that pushes Gohan deep. A visual of all the people in his life flashes before him. Whether they're fine, alive, or dead, doesn't really matter. But that's the time Jiren needs to go all One Punch Man on us and unleash the cool move, full power, the end. Oh, that's pretty awesome for a single punch. He's going all out with one slam. Seriously, this double page spread here could be a poster, my goodness. However, Gohan does dodge it, and is about to attack, but Jiren dodges him easily, and the Half Saiyan collapses. But that's what Jiren expected and hoped for. He was able to avoid Gohan, Jiren's strongest attack, full power at the end. That was enough to prove to Jiren that the boy had passed muster. That was all he needed to know. We then end the chapter with Amaron and his mooks on Universe 10, like we saw before, decimating Obuni's friends, including Lilybo. Dang it. And this is clearly where we're going to be heading for the next chapter, next month. All in all, this battle with Gohan and Jiren was quite one-sided, but it didn't matter. For a fan-made manga, this was done expertly. Despite there only being one thing going on, where the main manga likes to focus on one main plot and a subplot, usually, the lesson for Gohan was to really dig deep and focus on what he fought for and to just do it. Don't be flashy. You shouldn't have to rely on said flashy, gimmicky techniques. The Galactic Donut, Hell Zone Grenade, Kamehameha, when he just got down and dirty and engaged Jiren in a straight up brawl, absolute strength, it was the right thing to do, even though he missed. That action alone was just cutting through the noise, going back to what made Dragon Ball, the original Dragon Ball, special when it came to its battles. It was all based in reality with martial arts and a true taste of strength. Jiren liked that, as it makes things much more simple, raw and focused. And the way his lesson is taught is basic. Instead of long lines of text and exposition, Jiren just pounds Gohan hard until he figures it out. I know there are plenty of innuendos here, but I'm just saying what I'm seeing. Jiren just easily walks through the key attacks and smacks Gohan silly. For those of you who love more animalistic and brutal battles, this is one to watch. Gohan is having to, in a way, unlearn everything that he had been taught. All of his key-based attacks were useless in this particular duel. It's only when he did, like his dad, got stuck into a close-quarter frenzy with Jiren, that he could actually make any progress of any kind. Another thing I liked from this bit was the extra thing with Gichin. We didn't really see this in the anime too much about Gichin's modus operandi. All we knew is that he was the one who took Jiren in after his parents were offed by some random demon who we still don't know the identity of, and taught him how to defend himself. That was it really. Gichin now in Kakumei has been fleshed out more, which in turn fleshes Jiren out more. By his master giving that lecture, we see why Jiren burnt out and became a shell of a warrior, obsessed with internal soul-searching all the time, rather than being a classic fighter. He meditated to avoid it, trying desperately to seek what it was that his master had taught him, finding inner peace, a goal to strive for, people to care about and all. He only fought when he had to and nothing more. Goku, like he does all the time, rekindled his passion, reminded him of his need to fight for his teammates, his allies, his friends, because his teammates are his friends. He does have them. Jiren still is a solo fighter, but at least now he remembers his original drive, what Gichin had taught him. He can just tool it into his style. It gives him more personality without having to talk for page after page. We see it in play, and that's great. I won't go on any more about the visuals, because essentially they are gorgeous, they always are. With each chapter, the style of Dragon Ball is becoming more and more ingrained with the style of the artists. The first few Kakumei chapters were a little bit fast and loose with this, with the entwining of said artistic cues, but now it's a lot more in sync. Well, I mean, that naturally comes with practice, but it's good to see it coming together in a little over a year. This chapter, they cracked it fully. More please. I think it's a turning point. It really gives Gohan some more character exposition and provides perfectly what Jiren was lacking in the anime. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Do subscribe and like for more, and I shall see you in the next Kakumei chapter review. Catch you later!